Ohana Ho'opakele, an organization looking to heal social ills that exist in Hawaii's justice system, held a news conference in Hilo on Wednesday morning outside the state's Hale Kaulike courthouse. The group is about to embark on a busy tour of Oahu, promoting what they say is the need to establish puuhonua on all islands as an alternative to building more prisons.
But Ohana Ho'opakele has been working, I think, now for about 14 years. With a dream of getting a puuhonua for our paahau, and so we've been focusing on Kulani instead of them bringing it back as a minimum security prison. We think that they are obligated to find a solution, and the solution should be a puuhonua, what the Hawaiians were doing a long time ago.
The group has filed a lawsuit challenging the state's final environmental assessment on the reactivation of Kulani prison, saying the state should have looked into having a puuhonua at the site of the soon-to-be resurrected correctional facility.
My name is Georgette Yandel, and I'm honored to this morning have formalized an agreement to provide legal services to Ohana Ho'opakele to support their lawsuit filed back on August 2nd of this year against the Department of Public Safety on a couple of grounds. Back in 2012, our state legislature, in its wisdom, passed Act 117, which required that the Department of Public Safety work expressly with the Ohana and other similarly situated and interested organizations in development of a plan for a puuhonua on state land and a puuhonua at Kulani. We're here a year and a half later. There is no plan. We are anxious and available to make that plan and capable to make that plan. In addition, the state was required, pursuant to environmental impact statement law, in their plan to reactivate Kulani, to develop an environmental impact statement. In that process, they wholesale as well failed to consider placement of a puuhonua at that location.
I noticed at the first meeting I went to back in the beginning of the year how even though Ohana Ho'opakele was mentioned, it seemed like they were being ignored in it, and it kind of upset me, so I got on board then.
Puuhonua is really a solution to the problem of prison, which keeps getting worse and worse. The state keeps locking up more and more, especially Hawaiians, and it's doing more damage instead of helping the community and helping people and their families.
They also hope to catch the attention of Attorney General Eric Holder in hopes that the Justice Department will investigate the high number of Native Hawaiians incarcerated in Hawaii prisons.
Eric Holder is the first black Attorney General of the United States, and on August the 12th he did a press conference where he said he's going to eliminate mandatory minimum sentencing. And the reason for that, he said, we're just warehousing people in prison. And he said we are just warehousing the most vulnerable members in prison. And so when we said, who are the most vulnerable members in prison in Hawaii, we said Radine Karasuda says there are more than 60% of the prisoners are of Native Hawaiian background, and so we're saying they're the ones that the state hasn't taken care of all these years. So we're inviting him to do a study on investigation, since the state won't do it, on why there's a disproportionate large number of Native Hawaiians in prison.
Polikapu Dedman, the current president of the Ohana Ho'opakele, said the trip will also have an educational component.
On Oahu, we'll be talking to the Richardson School of Law students. I'll be giving a talk for approximately about half an hour or so on Native issues, especially dealing with rights. And it's appropriate that the law school, I guess, get told about the situation. And then talk to the Native Hawaiian students at the Hawaiian Studies program about the same situation, about why we are in the situation we're in.
The group also hopes to get some statewide media attention. They're going to hold a news conference on the steps of the Prince Kuhio Federal Building in Honolulu on Friday morning.